Folks, what's up? We're back for another edition of Don
and Jon's
Picks. That's right, folks. We have now surpassed the halfway point of the season, and what a season it's been. And, I think we like to take a minute now to see how we're doing thus far. Right, Donnie?
Of course, let's get right into it. Week 9, over and done with.
We're on to week 10 now.
We're on to week
17-week season. Things a little weird
week
now.
Week 10. So yeah, this is the other half of a 9-9.
Wow.
All right. Well, I'll start off with how I'm doing. Overall record 47-39. That includes the over/under spreads, Bills, and the Luscious Lock. Hitting at about 54.7%. I'd like for it to be up a little higher, but what are you gonna do? That's how it is right now. Last couple of weeks have been rough. Over under, we're looking at 17 and 16, about what I expect. It's not my bag, but we're still above 50%. Spread 18 and 15. That's with some absolute brutal beats mixed in there. What are you gonna do? Luscious Lock 9 and 7. Now that 9 and 7, that started off as a 6 and 1. We started off red hot, and since it's just been bad, except for last week. Thank you very much. That's hitting at 57%. Right, nice and profitable where we want it. John, how you doing?
Well, Donnie, let's check the numbers here. My overall record so far through the season: 43 and 33 and 1. Percentage-wise, looking at 55.5% hit rate. Over 500, we'll take it. In the over-unders, which seems to be my bread and butter lately, overall we're at 20 and 13 there with the over-unders. So, all right, feeling pretty good about that one. We're going to try to keep that going for sure, because that's looking profitable. As opposed to my spreads, which have not been my bread and butter lately. 15 and 8 on the season. Definitely looking to get that above 500 on the back half here, Donnie. Trying to turn things around here a little bit with the spreads. So that's, it hasn't really been my thing. But the anchor picks, surprisingly, after checking the numbers here, I know we've been hot lately, but I was surprised to see that anchor pick overall 7-2-1 on the season. Started off around 500, a couple bad losses early on there in the season, but we have been on a roll lately. Something about that anchor has just been finding some great picks. So we're looking to keep that rolling again this week and through the rest of the season, Donnie.
Hell yes. And one more stat I want to point out. When we're in consensus, folks, we're hitting at 23 and 19. That's above 55%. That's right. And with that, we are profitable in every way, folks.
That's
every
right.
Single way.
We are profitable here, so we celebrated by going to Outlet Liquor and getting the most expensive bottle of whiskey we could find, because that's the responsible thing to do.
The place to buy a case, you know it. But we can't be too gluttonous. We've spent enough time celebrating how well we've done thus far. We got to keep it going. John, Thursday night football. We're heading back to Miami, a place we've talked about a couple times. This time, they got the Ravens heading in. -7.5 favorites, road favorites, over/under, 46.5. Where you at with this, John? Where you at?
Well, Donnie, Thursday night, we're going to Hard Rock Stadium. And pretty big spread here. Baltimore -7.5. I think I'm leaning with Lamar Jackson and the boys on Thursday night. Like I said, pretty big spread, but I don't see myself taking the Dolphins here. So give me Baltimore. This over/under had me thinking a little bit here. I've gone back and forth a bit, but I have landed on I am taking the over here. I think we see some points. I think Miami manages to put up some points in a losing effort here. So I'm leaning the over, but I am taking Baltimore with the spread as well. So what are you thinking here, Donnie?
Last week there were a lot of upsets. There was a lot of close games. I think we can't let that get to our heads. We got to just stick with what we know. Keep it simple. I'm going with the Ravens, -7.5. Now, I don't love it because this team all the time goes down early, comes back from down 19, down 18, down 17, down to 14. Their thing is coming back in the fourth quarter down ridiculous amounts. But I think they can cover this. But I'm against you on the over-under. I'm going with under. I don't think the Dolphins' offense is going to be able to do much against Baltimore's D. I think they're going to hold them off. There's still questions now if Tua's, going to be back. What, didn't he have a COVID thing? He got added to the list for a day or something.
Yeah, I think his ribs still hurt too.
So we might have Brissett. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Who cares? I'm taking Ravens -7.5, under 46.5. And so we got another 50-50 on the spread. We got a consensus pick.
Mm-hmm.
And over under a little bit of a DJ split. Yep.
Splitsville on that one. We'll see how it goes when we go to Hard Rock Stadium Thursday night. But looking ahead here, we've got another big Bills matchup, divisional matchup, and yet another huge spread as we take on a bunch of underdogs this month. We obviously all saw what happened last week, and we don't really need to talk about it, I don't think, hopefully, because I don't want to. But we are looking at another struggling team, a big spread, somewhat of a seemingly struggling offense for our Bills here, Donnie. Can we cover 13.5 points? 2 weeks ago, it was the Dolphins, right? And we snuck it out. We snuck it out for a miracle cover on that big spread there. Last week, it wasn't even close. We lost the damn thing. But can we bounce back? Will the offense be clicking again? Can we get enough points to hit this over-under? What are you thinking?
John, before I give you my answer, I got to be honest. I don't feel right having this celebratory drink of profitability in my hands. I'm going to get something darker. Because, let's be honest, folks. I'm going to get the hair going, yeah. Let's be honest, folks. It's a little dark in Buffalo right now. And it's okay to admit that. And I'm not just talking about daylight savings time.
Shout out.
Shout out. No one likes it. We're not farmers up here.
Mm-mm.
It's a little dark. It is dark in Buffalo. But I think the darkness can succeed. 13.5. I don't like it. I mean, you just lost to the Jags. You can lose to anyone, right? I mean, if you can lose to the Jags, you can lose to the Jets. That was a bad game. John's right. We don't want to talk about it, but I would be remiss if I didn't at least acknowledge the darkness that I'm putting down into my belly right now. Much like that Bills loss I had to just put down to the belly. What a gut punch. But I can't give up now. I'm going to put my wallet in the man's hands who made us very profitable last year when we were struggling with the rest of the primetime games. Going back to the Bills, -13.5, I'll take it. Over 47, I'll take it. I think of Mike White, right? That's the Jets hero's name.
I think so. I think they're still rolling him out there.
I think if he's there, he might get a touchdown or two. But I kind of want that. I want some points scored against the Bills D and them to feel pressed. I feel like the offense hasn't felt pressed. There's always just this feeling of oh, they're going to get it next time. They're going to get going. They're going to get going. They're going to get going. And it just never happened last game. Miami, it kind of happened, but still, the cover was a miracle. I like Mike White going out, scoring a TD, driving down the field in the first drive, and then Bills responding, just burying him in points. Goes over. We cover the spread. That's what I'm going with. John?
Okay.
How do you feel? Are you as dark as me right now, or how's it going?
Well, Donnie, I'm the type of person that can hardly stand to dwell on depressing losses such as the one last week, so I choose to just look ahead or anywhere else other than at, the darkness, call it what you will. In this case, I'm with you. I think this is a week the offense gets back on track. It looks like Dawson Knox is trending towards being back, hopefully.
Huge.
It's looking like a good chance he plays, depending on how he looks in practice this week. So that could only help. I think that's something we've sorely been missing the last few weeks was our boy Dawson Knox. So getting him back in the mix. Josh Allen knows that he played a bad game last week. He's going to be hungry to come back out and just stomp another divisional rival in the Jets. So it's a big spread, but I like the Bills getting it done this week in New York. And the over-under, I had to think about this one a bit. I think it was a couple weeks now that they went under, and I was picking under, and I was going to do it again this week. But I think we put up enough points, even if the Jets only get like a touchdown, 10 points, something like that. I think the Bills just they get moving and they don't stop moving. They keep putting up points until this game is over and we hit that over. So I'm with you, Donnie. We're taking the Bills and we're taking the over. And with that, we have a through and through consensus pick.
Yes. See, when I get a huge spread like that, if I'm like betting the cover, I feel like I almost have to bet an over. Because for them to cover with only 47 points allowed, like already you're at a 14-point difference.
Yeah, you start doing the math.
If you assume the Jets scored 2 touchdowns, you're like, shit, then they need to get at least 28. And then you're almost practically there at that point. You're 1 touchdown short.
Yeah, I think the anomaly there was both times we played Miami this season, the under hit, and we managed to cover both of those spreads in scoregami fashion.
Crazy fashion.
You don't see that often.
Nope, not at all. Okay, we're going to go back, though, to another team that was dark, not as dark, still who knows what's going on, though. It seemed like they kind of just escaped with a win. We're, of course, talking about the Chiefs. They're at the Raiders. Sunday Night Football. Chiefs are -2.5. Tiny spread versus the Raiders. Now, I saw a stat. I didn't know this. I knew the Chiefs were bad at covering spreads, even though they were one of the best teams. But apparently not just this year, but last year, when they were just owning everybody, they were also, like second worst in covering the spread. So, that being said, you got a tiny little guy. -2.5, over under 51.5 at the Raiders. And man, I mean, this is an interesting matchup because you got the Chiefs, all their issues. We got the Raiders that now have had a head coach fired because of the emails he had, a wide receiver cut because of just irresponsible drunk driving, 156 miles per hour, ends up killing somebody. And then on top of that, now you got a cornerback that they just released, I think, a day or two ago because he was posting videos of him threatening to kill people with a gun on Instagram. Yikes. So, what do you make of this matchup, John? It's got all of the drama that Sunday night needs.
It does indeed. And it seems like the Raiders are a very fitting team to have in the Sin City these days. I mean, they're already a brand of, the whole vibe surrounding the Raiders seems very fitting for the type of things and happenings that have been surrounding them, especially this season. I mean, it's just like if there's going to be a team doing some dirty, nasty, stupid shit, I guess it might be the Raiders. And in Las Vegas, of all places.
But again, like any good football team, their quarterback is a Jesus-loving, God-fearing man.
That's right. He just happens to look like a psychotic kid from one of our, all-time favorite childhood movies, Toy Story 1, of course. Shout out Sid, the neighbor. But that's neither here nor there. Maybe Sid, born-again Christian, who knows, in another dimension. But Derek Carr, still under center, trying to hold things together here. When I see this matchup, my initial thought is Chiefs. But after thinking back, and I don't know, somehow this is a divisional matchup, so things, a little bit different when it's a divisional team. A little tougher to read, but it seems like the Raiders have had the Chiefs' number a little bit more than I was thinking as of late. So I think I'm taking the Raiders here. I think taking the Raiders plus 2.5. I think this will be a close game, certainly, and we'll see if Patrick Mahomes has it together this week on Sunday night. But I think I'm leaning the Raiders. And as far as the over/under, checks notes. Yeah, I couldn't remember what I picked on this one because it was a tough decision. But I am leaning on the under here, Donnie. I think we will see some points. But the over/under at 51.5, I don't think we quite get to it. Like I said, close game. I'm thinking we stay in the mid to upper 20s here, 28 to 21, something like that. So I'm not seeing it hitting the over there. So give me the Raiders and give me the under. And hopefully, give me that money. But Donnie, where are you lying on this one, Sunday nights?
Well, John, unfortunately, we're back to being completely on the other side. Everything I said about the Chiefs being one of the worst, if not second worst team to cover the spread, that's all true. But minus 2.5, I think that is Vegas overreacting. I think there's a lot of upsets, like I said, been happening. I think the Chiefs are still good. They've been having troubles, though. And I'm just not convinced. I don't know, Derek Carr is just such a wild card, too. I mean, so has Mahomes become lately. Mm-hmm. But I got to go with my gut. My gut says anytime you see the Chiefs at a field goal, take them. It's not even a field goal to push. Not a field goal with the hook. It's minus 2.5. Chiefs, all they got to do, they could go to overtime, and they can still cover with a win. So all they got to do is win in my mind. Taking the over, though. Chiefs defense sucks. Raiders defense, inconsistent as all hell. I still have like the week 1 or 2, whatever it was, Ravens game in my mind, where they looked incredible in the first half and then looked like just total noobs, just getting cakewalked the entire second half. So I'm taking the over. So Chiefs minus 2.5, over 51.5, and that is a DJ split.
Being torn apart on this one.
Yeah, totally. I just can't. Those Raiders are dirtbags. Can't bet on them. I'm too holy of a man.
Hey, fair enough. I do not blame you there. Well, we'll see what happens on Sunday night, but we are now moving ahead, of course, to the final primetime matchup of Week 10 here. Monday Night Football. That's right. We're looking at Monday nights. The LA Rams visiting the San Francisco 49ers. Got a nice California matchup going on here. The Rams favored by 4.5 points. Over under 49.5. Monday night, Donnie, what do you think here? This should be a pretty good matchup against two California teams. Who you backing here?
Yeah, I mean, this is great because this is close enough fans could drive to the stadium, and you're still in the same state. Got a nice little interstate or intrastate matchup, like you said. You know what? Let me go in reverse. I'm going to start with the over/under instead of the spread. Under 49.5. I just like it. 49ers are all about defense. Rams, they're all about defense. If it wasn't for, a pick 6 with the Titans and throwing another pick also within their own 10-yard line, you could pretty much blame Stafford for like 14, maybe even 21 of the points against the Titans when they lost last week. I don't think that happens again. I think we got a defensive matchup. So give me the under 49.5. Spread is the more interesting part. The Rams, I still have faith that they're one of the best teams in the NFC and a Super Bowl contender, but they looked awful during the Titans game. Awful Sunday night last week. San Francisco, on the other hand, they just lost to Arizona without Kyler Murray. Is that a testament to Arizona being real good, having good depth, good coaching, or are the 49ers in trouble? I'm going to go with the Rams on this. -4.5, not going to overthink it. Although my gut tells me, you got a home dog and a state rivalry. The home dog might come out. I'm silencing those critics. Rams -4.5, under 49.5. Book it. John, we together? What's going on?
Where do we lie on this one? Monday night? Well, of course, it is one of my boys, born again Ram, Matthew Stafford. I mean, he's got it done for me a few times this season.
Did us dirty last week.
He did do us dirty last week, but you know what? We look ahead, and I think I'm with you on this. I'm with you on the Rams. I don't know. I don't see even though they're at home. Like, I think the Rams get it done. So I'm taking the Rams -4.5. The over/under here. I am also thinking under. I think we see some points, but I think it'll be a mostly defensive matchup. I think the 49ers will struggle to put up some points. I think just in general, I think the Rams are going to bounce back after a tough week last week. I still think that they are a great team, and so Rams under, lock it in, and we got ourselves. We're back into a consensus pick. Bling, 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 bling.
Let's go. Ching.
Boom.
Hey, they're cashing at a big clip, 55%. So.
All right. Good to hear. Okay, we've made it through all of the primetime games, and now we get to the real picks, baby. That's right. I'm talking about the Luscious Lock, the anchor pick, where the real magic happens. So, how luscious are we getting this week, Donnie?
John, I'm feeling good after last week. It's a mixed feeling. It's bittersweet because, I did the right thing. I went with my wallet, picked the Patriots, but that was a Patriots win in the same week the Bills lost. So my fandom, not happy. Wallet, very happy. The Luscious Locks, we're over the hump. We're figuring it out. We've been trying to dial things in. We had a couple multi-picks plus a parlay. We had a parlay. This week I'm doing something truly special to celebrate halfway through. We're going to keep it rolling. And how are we going to do that? With a nice little 4-pack of picks, baby. That's right. We got 4 picks. We're not going to parlay them. We're not going to do anything crazy. We're going to do 4 picks. 3 out of 4, guaranteed to hit. Guaranteed. And we're going to bring Luscious Locks back to what we expect, which is a near 60 to 70% cash rate. Here's how we're starting it off. Saints at the Titans. Titans -3, take them all day. Titans are proved they're for real. They're at home. Yeah, they don't have Derrick Henry, but I just saw them stomp the Rams. Their defense is playing great. Everyone thought their defense was going to be trash. It's playing great. They're out coaching everybody. They got Adrian Peterson back, who even scored a touchdown. Saints, just not convinced about them, especially with Simeon on the road. Take the Titans -3. Next, we're going back to a crazy ex-girlfriend that has done us good sometimes, but really hurt us other times. Chargers taking on the Vikings. Chargers are at home, -2.5. Again, this is another line where they just need a field goal. They just need to win by a field goal. They could win in overtime. I think the Chargers, they got this. These are 2 awful defenses, but I like the Chargers way better than I like the Chargers way better than I like the Vikings. Vikings, they couldn't even get it done versus Cowboys D, which might be suspect still. So that's pick number 2. Pick number 3, we're going back where we were last week. Patriots at home taking on the Browns, -1.5 for the Patriots. I love it. Give me it. Give me the Patriots. This team, I talked a lot of shit. I still don't think Mac Jones is good, but their defense is great. Damian Harris is money. He cashed that prop I bet last week as well for the touchdown prop. Might as well do that as well. Parlay it. Patriots covering. Damian Harris. But I'm not, that's just saying you might as well. That's not an official pick because parlays have got us in trouble. We're not doing that. Patriots, though, -1.5. I think Belichick's D is just going to hound Baker Mayfield, and they've just lost one of their best wide receivers. I don't like it. Now we're doubling up on this game for pick 4 to complete the 4-pack. That's right. We're going with under 46.5, which is the line for this. Listen, you got Chubb, may or may not be in. I'm assuming he's going to be in. Damian Harris, he's going to be in. We know what the Patriots do. They are ground and pound. They run the ball all day on you. That's what they've done against every team. I think the Browns are going to do the same. We're going under that 46.5, doubling up both. If you want to parlay it, it's on you. That's our 4-pack of picks. Quick review. Titans -3, Chargers -2.5, Patriots -1.5, under 46.5 in the Browns-Patriots game. Is it chalky? Yes, but I love it. I love it. I got to go with it.
Wow.
That was
okay.
a lot.
That is a lot to process.
I prepared for this, but that's the Luscious Lock. Now we're going out to sea, where things have been going quite swimmingly.
Things have been going swimmingly. It's been smooth seas, smooth sailing, Donnie. We've just been drifting away into more and more buried treasure from island to island as we sail around and lifting anchors up with buried treasure left and right. And this week I expect to be no different indeed, because anchors are That's right. That's right. This week I was out enjoying a nice cruise, and things have been going well at the Luscious Lock. I was drinking some whiskey out on the 7 seas. And who did I see? From afar, a salty, salty sea dog, a man that I did not realize I would see out in the water, but now that I think about it, he looks like he belongs on a fishing boat. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. He's out there. He's recovering from COVID, quarantining out at sea, nice and safe. I think
mad shrooms, probably.
He was doing shrooms. He'd just gotten off of his interview with Pat McAfee, so he was just, he's feeling great about himself after just opening his big fat mouth about a whole bunch of things that don't have to do with football. But the last thing that I heard him say, and this I think is in the news now, he said, "I'm going to go back to doing what I do best, playing football." We love to hear it, Aaron. Keep it that way, because this week, I'm backing you, buddy. I'm backing you to come back as the Seahawks take on the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay. Green Bay currently favored -3.5 at home. It's looking like it's not 100% on either of these, but Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers can and should both be returning back from separate issues for this game, which should be a great matchup here in Green Bay. Russell Wilson, of course, coming back from a broken, disgusting finger, and Aaron Rodgers coming back from a disgusting, unvaccinated stint with COVID. So, it's very interesting, a lot of variables here, but I like my boy Aaron Rodgers coming back just to say fuck you to everybody and just winning after pretty much everybody hated him for a week. He's just gonna be like, nah, screw y'all, I'm just gonna win and we're gonna pretend like that never happened. I can see it happening now, and I'm telling you, we're back in Aaron Rodgers. He's back stronger than ever after beating COVID on his boat out at sea doing podcasts. So that's your anchor pick of the week, folks. Packers, -3.5 at home. Lock it in, and we're going to keep sailing away for the rest of this season with the anchor pick.
Hell yeah. You're not worried at all about Russell Wilson still doing huddles and stuff on the field before games and 2-minute drills with nobody around?
I'm not concerned. He's got a bionic finger, and I don't know what the software update is on that. So,
well, I just have to, for full transparency, say I was this close to to that being one of my Luscious Locks in a 4-pack. But not on the Packers, on the opposite side.
Wow.
We were this close to having a Luscious Lock and an anchor pick fading each other, which we might be bound to happen sometime. Not this week though. I'm riding. Why not? I mean, they've been hot. Anchor pick's been hot. How can I fade them now? You can't fade someone that's won the last 3-4 weeks in a row.
I mean, after the week that Aaron Rodgers had, it kind of feels like you're rooting for the villain in this case. So if you're the type of person who likes to root for the villain, you might as well back Salty Sea Dog Aaron Rodgers this week with me. What do you say?
All right, I love it. Well, folks, that is our show. We'd like to thank all y'all for watching. We hope the first half we've made you money. We hope you've been tailing us when we're right. You've been fading us when we're wrong. We hope you're even smarter than us, and maybe you have some picks to give us. Drop it in the comments, tweet it at us. You know what it is. I'll put out, here's our handles real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Twitter handles if you want to get at us. You know what it is. It's Don
and Jon's
Picks. Week 10. This train never stops. We'll see you next time.